I was taking a walk just the other day when a big old bird flew my way. I said, "Hey there, bird, my name is Matt." She said, "Follow me to my habitat." I said, "Habitat, habitat, Habitat, habitat." So I followed her to a big old tree inside a hole where her babies three. Said, "This is my home, not good for a bat. This is perfect for my habitat, habitat." Habitat. I said habitat. 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 I say habitat. Hey everybody. Club Director Paul here. This is in fact my bird feeder in my backyard. This bird feeder provides one of the 3 things that are necessary in order to have a good habitat. What are those three things? I'm glad you asked. Number one. Now, birds need water for bathing and for drinking. A bird will drink about twice a day, and often a bird will get most of its water from what it eats. So those birds that eat insects, they get most of their water content from you get the idea. And here in the city, there's places where water sits and stands for the birds to actually take a bath or to drink. So, number one, check. Number two, in order to be a good habitat for all living things, you need food, a food source. So here in the city, there's a really good food source. A lot of food is left out. A lot of food is just left hanging around. There are a lot of insects. There are a lot of natural seeds and plants, especially in a wooded area. So there's plenty for the birds to actually eat. So, number two, check. And number three. Number three is shelter. Now, every living thing needs a shelter that it can protect itself in when the weather gets extremely bad. And here in the city, there are many different kinds of shelters that the birds will utilize to help protect themselves when the weather gets a little rough. It could be as simple as a hole inside of a tree, or perhaps a birdhouse that someone has built so that the birds will have some shelter. Or it could be a nest that the bird has made to shelter themselves. It can be made out of materials that they found. Lots of materials in the city, and they will find these materials and they will build their nest out of them. And around the world, there are many different materials and ways that birds will actually build their shelters. So shelter number three, check. So in order to have proper habitat, we need water, we need food, and we need shelter. Now, earlier we talked about you actually live in a habitat, so I want you to take a moment. I want you to talk to whoever you're with. I want you to check around your habitat right now. Make sure that you have water, make sure that you have food, and make sure that you have shelter. If you have those three things, I want you to check it out, come back to me, and I'll be waiting here for you, okay? I'm waiting. Okay, everybody, I assume you're back by now. Did you take a look? Do you have all the things you need for a proper habitat? Excellent. Let's make sure that we keep those same things around for the birds. Well, as you can see, the sun is starting to get low, so I think it's time to go inside and start our hands-on activity. Now, today's activity is a lot of fun. It's really easy to do, and it's going to be great. So today, we're going to fulfill one of those three things that all living things need, that is food, water, or shelter. Today, we're going to help supply the birds with food. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to make ourselves our own bird feeder. You don't have to have a fancy feeder I have here. You can actually make one by just having a toilet paper roll. You're going to need something sticky. We're going to talk about that. And you're going to need some kind of seed or bird seed to put on the outside, and perhaps a piece of string. And what I'd like you to do is, we're going to make this today. We're going to go up, and then I want you to hang this outside your house somewhere where you can see and watch. We call that observation. I want you to do some observation throughout this next week, and I want you to look at the kinds of birds that actually come to visit your seed. So let's go ahead and go upstairs and let's get started.